Hi, hi, hi. Sorry, we're in the void. Let me... Here we go. Okay. Happy. So we are mostly welcome. Oh my... Ugh. Welcome. We are mostly done with commissions as of right now. So I am going to be working on something that I've wanted to do for a long time, which is some personal art and getting it animated. So let me set this up real quick. We have to drag, it feels like I need 3 screens to even like try and stream. I finally got 2. And wow, does it make it better? But now I'm like, I need 3 of them. Part of the problem is that like my bot, bless its heart, can't figure out how to have 2 YouTube channels. Okay, so here we are. Gonna insert all the doggies. And you're like, lady, what the heck are you doing? You'll see. Give me a minute, you'll see. So this is something I've had sitting for years now. I had a really fun time drawing these. These are all... Did I get the right one? Yeah, I guess so. Ibos. I'm an Ibo girly. Let's see here. Ibo! These are robot dogs, and I'm obsessed. So I drew them all as little carousels, and I want to animate them. So what that is going to look like is first building a PSD. So what do we have here? We have our top, our pole, our dogs, and let's just make sure all this is functioning well. We want the pole to be down here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and name these so that they're not insufferable later. Oh, the background's fine. And this will go all the way up at the top for, I don't know, let's say top. I do know I need to fix lots of things. Top has some pole that I don't want it to have. Is that what that other picture was? Yeah, it is. I was wrong. There we go. So I already had this kind of separated out because I've wanted to animate this for a very long time now. Excited to finally get to it. And it's very old stuff. You can tell this is like traditional that was scanned in and colored, which is not something I do anymore at all. Okay, so we need something nice to cover that, but I don't want to like just edit it out. I think I'd rather... Let's get one of these bows. Let's get one of these bows and put it back there. Can I... This one? Well, this one. And then I'll fix it in a second. But just a general shape, we'll cut it out, and then... Sure. And then you might notice the title of the video is Ask Me About Robot Dog Magic, or Ask Me About Furby Magic. Because I am obsessed. I want to make a like proper YouTube video about it. I have opinions about robots, as most people do, but mine are a little bit complicated. No, not opacity, size. Okay. Where I am absolutely, the thing is, have you ever had something that you really loved that like suddenly got popular and like it ruined it? absolutely ruined it. That's how I feel about robots. But like it got popular with the tech bros and like the people who want to ruin society. And I'm like, can't we go back to the point where like we had good robot dogs? Because don't get me started about today's robot dogs. And you all think I'm thinking about Spot. I'm not even talking about Spot. I have opinions about the current Aibo. Current meaning, I think it debuted 2019. They're still being sold, so they're the current Aibo. But they're like thousands of dollars, and you need I'm kid you not, you need a subscription service to keep your dog alive. And I have opinions about that. I'm not going to buy a robot if it is not locally hosted. Full stop. And that was already my opinion before robots became like harbingers of the end of the world, right? I'm going to turn these off so I can better see stuff. But I love robots a lot. I have a bunch of I have 3 Furbies, I have 2 Aibos. I just got them packed up in a suitcase and shipped halfway around the world because my beautiful friend loves me so very, very much. And I'm so excited to have them be home and I get to show them off to my friends. And it's just very strange to be like, yes, I am the robot slurs. I don't know. They've always made me feel things. I don't know if you know about so there's these robots that are shaped like baby seals that they use and this is like my favorite easy example of what I mean by I love robots. They're shaped like baby seals and they're used in, what are those called? Nursing homes. So people who have dementia, people who have like trouble with their motor skills, people who can't take care of an animal or even like are actively a threat to an animal because like they can't control their motor skills, like I just said, or they can't control their actions super well. Maybe they have Tourette's or something. I don't know, but it's specifically made for people in nursing homes with these disabilities who need the comfort or do well with the comfort of like therapy animals, but they can use this robot baby seal, which activates the same things. So it's fluffy, it moves a little bit, it's warm, it makes cute little noises, it looks around at you, it's sweet, but it's also like hardy. It's not gonna get hurt like a cat, like a real cat might or a real dog might. It's safe. It's not gonna bite like a real dog or a real cat might, even a nicely trained one. If you drop it, it'll be okay. In a way that a real animal is not. And if you scare it, like you can't scare it. You can't hurt the animal. So I love these things. They're like $8 million, so I'm never going to be able to own one. But they're made for helping people in a real, tangible way. And that's how I've always thought about robots. I'm in the niche of like robot pets. Like I love an Aibo, like I said. Do we want to keep this separate or do we want to merge it down? If we keep it separate, we can make it do little things. Because our next point of business is actually going to be separating out bits and pieces of the dogs. So we might as well keep it separate, right? I think so. So we'll say this is top, this is, nope, this is bow, and that goes actually back behind even the pole. Pole is it long enough? Do I need more pole? Oh, okay, pole's good. Let's turn this off and let's start at the bottom here. Woohoo! So this is a pug. Lots of people don't like them. I think they're silly. What could we... Since I didn't build this for Live 2D, obviously, there's not a whole lot I can easily separate out. But it could be nice to have something separated out, you know? Even if it's like whole legs, I have to fill in some stuff underneath. But let's try it out. Oh, I see. It duplicated the whole thing even though. Okay, Control C, Control V. Here's just a leg. Apparently it auto deselected for me. I'm not used to that. And we'll clean this up. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to defend myself nowadays. Like, yeah, I am a clanker, I guess. I don't know. But I really do think that there's merit to, first of all, locally hucking Don't get me started on cloud-based robots. There's space for locally hosted robots, and there's space for them to actually do good in this world. This is extremely Fruitiger Arrow. If you don't believe me, these dogs are old enough to drink. This model that I'm working on here is 25 years old. So perfectly in line for Fruitiger Arrow. Okay, now we have to erase this whole leg from here. And I'm not gonna piece these out a whole bunch. Sure, I think that's gonna be mostly covered anyway. But just a little bit of movement would be really nice. Like I said, I've been sitting on this for years and I've wanted to finish it. So now that I'm out of, not out, but at a reasonable spot with, you know the word, commissions, then that's more decent. Can we... Do we want to separate out the like entire head? Because it would be really nice if we could get these, this like neck thing to move. How about this? We have the leg. We'll have the neck piece, the head, and the ear. I think that's actually way more than I wanted to separate it out, but it's fine. So this is our pug. This is pug leg. And we will grab But the reason I really wanted to just yap about this is because I really want to make a like full-length YouTube video about the magic of like simple, quote-unquote simple, these are like top-notch consumer robotics, locally hosted robots. So, okay, so we have pug here. And now we're going to try and take out the head and oops, draw what's underneath. Doesn't have to be complicated. Something like that, and then we'll make it as easy as possible on ourselves. Grab this shadow color, take this I noticed needed just a little bit of like throwing. Interesting. There we go. And then actually be maybe I want to be able to tell people it's kind of my special interest. I mean, other than tarot, it's kind of my special interest of like robotics. I'd love to. University is free here, which still blows my mind. As a simple American, but I'd love to get into robotics. It's a field that I didn't want to pursue when I did find out I had this interest because it's so extremely competitive that it felt useless to have a degree in it unless I had like a doctorate. It felt like I wasn't going to get anywhere. So, but now that I'm like, I'm a clown on the internet right now, and university's free. Once I figure out how to speak Spanish, it would be really cool. It would be really cool to be able to go to school for robotics. And there is a robotics program. I know because I went to their fair and I had such a good time looking at everyone's grad projects. I tried to make friends, but I still couldn't speak anything. So mostly I just confused people, but it's fine. I'm not going to go ham with all of this. Instead, okay, so I'm on the dark blue. I want the bright blue. And then let's see if I can't just... And then we'll grab, yeah, pink. And I think I turn the grow off, maybe. Sort of. Probably just is easier to do this. I'm definitely learning what it means to do the, like, people talk about. Well, we'll just leave that there then, actually. And maybe the 80% thing, where you do something to 80%. I didn't really know what the heck people were talking about when they said stuff like that. I'm understanding much better now. Perfectionism has always been a problem for me. Really thought that the title I gave this would have drawn more people, but I guess not. That's okay. Let's alpha lock that. This is alpha lock, right? Yeah, okay. If you can't tell, I'm still not quite used to drawing on my computer. It's been so long. Okay, let's say that's good. And now we turn. Where'd the pug leg go? Oh, I thought I had named it. It's gonna be pug head for now, because I do want to eke this out into a few different layers afterwards. Okay, so how are we doing this? Can I not just use this? I don't see why not. I mean, that could be why not, but I can turn threshold way down. Yeah, there we go. If this is actually not helpful to me later, we'll find out. Nope, threshold still needs to go down for that one. There we go. We'll leave that be. Not super helpful, but it's fine. And I think a lot of what it is for me with robots as well is that, like, I'm such a huge fan of robot pets in particular, you know, Furbies, stuff like that, where it's not replacing a human connection. It's offering something very different, which is not even, I wouldn't say it's replacing a pet connection either. It's offering something completely new. I don't think that the relationship that I have with my robots is the same kind of relationship I have with my cat. It's something new altogether, but it's something just as impactful to my psyche And I think that there's something really magical about that. I haven't quite articulated it yet, which is why I wanted to yap about it here in live, so that I could think about what I'm going to put in this video of mine. Okay, so there's that. And if I were to duplicate it now, I could turn this off and just kind of yoink all that away. So we can get to this cute little clown collar. If you couldn't tell, this was... Hello, Fluffy Bunny! Hello, hello! iPod dance. Ah, thank you, thank you! Hi, everybody! It's good to see you. I've just kind of been yapping to myself. Hi! So I'm making... It's completely obscure right here. It's so me, yes! This is art that I've been sitting on for years, that I've wanted to animate for so long, and I just never had time for it. And now that I'm at a point where I am kind of out of commissions to do on stream, I can sit down and try and do this instead. So I'm not going to be like spending a whole bunch of effort into this, but enough to kind of, you know, make it happen, to make something happen, right? So I'm gonna finish what I'm doing real quick, and then I'll show you kind of the vision. The vision is a carousel of robot dogs, if you couldn't tell. So I have an obsession with these robots called Ibos. Okay, that's enough for now. Turn this on, turn this on. Okay, and this one. So I did this series years ago now, back when I was still doing like traditional art that I scanned in and colored. I already know this is going to be awesome. Thank you so much. And I have all of these different dogs. So I did one of each of the, what would we call these? Generations of Ibos. I made one into, each one into a carousel horse, carousel dog. And I just want to animate it. I want to make them go around in a little circle and go up and down and stuff like that. So right now, what we're doing, animating on stream is a great excuse to get started. It's nice. It's really, really nice to have like, and that's why I like art stream, or part of why I like art stream is because it gives me a point where I like have to work on my art. Like there's no excuse to get out of it. I have to work on my art, and it makes it easier for me to do that. I don't know. But I've been yapping to myself about Ibos over here, and about how I really want to make a video about like the witchcraft and the magic of, oh boy, that's rough, of robotics. I have opinions. And I know that especially right now, a lot of people have opinions about robotics. Oh boy. But I feel, have you ever been really into something and then it gets really big and it gets really annoying, and people kind of assume that you're one of the annoying ones, and you're like, no, I don't like them either. Right? So that's kind of how I feel. That's how I feel. So I have opinions about my robot dogs. So I've been into robots like Furbies, robot pets, robot dogs for a long, long time. And then recently, I'm sure you've noticed, robots have kind of going off. They're kind of going off right now, and they're going off for extremely terrible reasons that nobody likes, even the people who are into robots. And it makes me mad. Mildly. Let's just straight up copy paste this little ball. Big fan of an anime with a fandom that has a bad reputation. Huge mood. That's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. There we go. Ooh. Let's make this one a bit smaller so it doesn't look quite so obvious I copy pasted it. Okay, and we can merge these two down. Sorry. So I don't know anything about this certain anime. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of them. You can't really tell from a description like that which one it is. That could be one of quite a few options. There we go. Okay, so let's call that pug collar. This will be pug head. Turn this off, and we'll just erase stuff. This one's going to be easier. I hear you though. I feel like technology of AI is so wrapped up in politics. A lot of people are plugging their ears when you try and talk about it. Yeah, it's not even like... I have so many opinions. So there is a place in this world for locally hosted robots. And I was of this opinion years and years and years ago, before things... Let me say that again. 2001, okay? There was no AI as we know it now, okay? So they are what I would call locally hosted. They run entirely within their little bodies. In fact, their little brains are all on one little chip. And it's good, it's fine, it's happy. We love to see it. Whereas AI is an extremely vague term that encompasses way too much. Honestly, people don't have words to describe the difference between ChatGPT and a video game NPC and a furby, right? So these dogs run entirely within themselves. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, and Sony, which is who makes these, this is in like 2019, they put out a new version. This cute little guy, this is the Aibo 3000, 2019. He's thousands of dollars, and he requires a subscription service. If you don't pay your subscription service, your dog dies. And I refuse. And this was, like, again, way before the huge AI boom. I refuse to buy any robot, no matter how expensive it is. Like, it could be $20. If it's not locally goddamn hosted. Like, the whole magic of an Aibo to me is that they're little guys. They're little guys. And if it's actually just like the shell of a little guy and he's running on some server somewhere in Japan, like, that's not magic, right? That's not magic anymore. I don't know. There's something really sad about it. And I don't know. It makes me upset. So Anyway, a lot of the robots that are like big right now are failing. You probably have seen like all the headlines about the humanoid robots and how they're just like people in suits because they can't figure out how to make it work correctly for demos and all that kind of stuff. And that's because everything is running in a gosh darn server field somewhere. You can't fit that kind of processing power inside of a robot, even if it's human sized right now. Like, that's just not something we can do yet. And to me, that takes all of the joy out of the robotics. Okay. Did I do all of that and then sure did. Okay, hold on. I have to like copy this layer and then like undo a whole bunch. Because I forgot to save this before. There we go. So if I control V. Okay. And then this one's going to be pug ear. Anyway, I'm going to go through like another example to try and like hone in what I'm trying to say. That's why I wanted to yap about it on live. Just because I want to make like a whole video about it and I don't really know how to structure it. But there's this robot from the 2000s that is... Wait, hold on. No, I did do that right. Okay. In the shape of a baby seal. It's a big fuzzy white baby seal. And it wiggles, it makes little noises, and it is made for people in nursing homes, specifically people with dementia or people who like can't control their body movements very well. And this lets them have like scientifically backed all of the benefits of like a therapy animal, like a therapy dog or something, without endangering an animal by putting them in the hands of someone who can't control their motor movements or has dementia and like might forget you can't just like drop a dog. So they're extremely expensive. I could never own one, but I love them very much because it really, to me, shows how there is a place for robots in our society. There really is, but so much of it is that there's not really a place for humanoid robots or robots that are trying to replace human connection. So that goes for like chatbots at this point, like ChatGPT and stuff. That's so smart and sweet with that. Yeah, isn't it really cool? They have little like binkies too. It's really sweet. So I have this thing for robots, but it's really for like robot pets because you don't need to be replacing human connection. That is going, as we have seen in the news lately, that's going to really mess with people's heads. Whereas if you make something that is sort of like a connection between a person and a pet, that's not only not harmful, but it's also very beneficial. And I would also say it's not replacing the connection with a pet. I don't have the same relationship with my Furby that I do with my cat, okay? But it's still something that is good for my psyche. It's still giving me something that is good for my soul. I don't know how to explain it. It's happy. It's happy. That's how to explain it. It's happy and it's not hurting me, okay? Whereas something like character AI or something is really hurting people. Okay. Uh-oh. Is it the leggies? Or is it the leggies still there, or did they get cut off? Oh no, his little leggies are still there. So let's line him up with the pole. I don't think he's lined up with the pole. And there's something just really special, and it just makes me happy. So I don't know, I wanted to yap about it because I have these big opinions and I do want to share them because I feel like it's a opinion people don't get to hear much of, which is like robot enthusiasts that are upset about this current state of robotics as well. It's nothing severe as marrying a fake bot. Having a pet bot is nothing compared to that. I agree. Yeah. I mean, and people have already explored that to death, right? We all remember Chobits, or at least I hope we all remember Chobits, which I think had a really good take for a manga in the, what is that, early 2000s, late 90s, of, it's complicated, bro, right? It's not good for you, but also it's complicated to have humanoid robots, right? And like, I don't think that they had figured out to the extent what the harm was going to be, but they did imagine that extreme, not like that layer of harm, that real layer of harm it does. So I don't know. So right now I'm getting rid of the hula hoop for now. It'll come back in a second. And I think that there's something really like when we think about a stereotypical witch, they often have like a book that moves on its own, and a sentient broom, and a talking sword, and it's just stuff like that. And it's like robots. That's robots. That's literally just robots. Like, we're making magic happen. I don't know. I want so badly to live in the Star Trek universe. You have no idea how badly. Okay, that's about the shape it's gonna be. Okay, so now that I've cut it out in the right shape, I'm gonna block the pixels. It's gonna make a person even more of a hermit. People need human-to-human connection. We're social creatures. Exactly! Okay, for this one, I think the move is gonna be copying it here. Not that it's gonna be exact or anything. And then pulling it over. Close. Close, but it doesn't help everything, but it's real close. Yeah, exactly. People need that connection. So it should not be provided by something that can't actually love you back. I could sit here and talk about my least favorite book, which is probably not YouTube appropriate, but suffice to say, there's this guy who did his thesis on robotics, and he wrote a book, which I think was just basically a copy of his thesis. And I disagree with it greatly, like extremely. I disagree with it so much. And again, that's something that came out way before the current rise of robotics that suck. Oops. Oop. Where you can just tell he's a little insufferable dweeb who doesn't understand the importance of what he's talking about and what kind of harm can be done. And like, even before all this happened, I was like, I can't believe he would say this. I can't believe you've done this. But I have such like a love for social robotics, which is how humans interact with robots and in what ways, and like, how is it beneficial, how is it hurtful. For the longest time, like, there wasn't much that was hurtful. It was just, ooh, babies like to play with dogs, people with dementia like to play with baby seals, right? Like, it was pretty nice for a while. And then the Fire Nation attacked. Me when I get the clanker. So I have thoughts. Okay, so I can probably do the same thing here with these strings. Like, copy like this. Nowadays it's messy. People wanted to help, and that's the hard part, right? It's weird to look at that should work. It's weird to look at all this research that people did trying to actually be helpful, trying to actually learn things and be quote unquote good scientists, and then like the effect, like what those papers were then used for going forward. I've been struggling with that a lot recently with like my old job, where we were doing really important work that we wanted to do because we were helping, like, wanted to help people. And now when I see not like my particular company or anything in the news, but like the research we were working on, it's being used for like heinous stuff that I never ever would have thought people would think to use it for. And it makes me really sad and really angry. So we're at a point where science is really being misused. Okay, and then I'd grab this color. Oh, it's locked. Okay. and this will be the fun one where I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. It would be like that, I think. Probably close to that. And if I want it thicker, here-ish. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to separate them out at least a little bit, you know? There's at least a little bit of live 2D movement going on. And then some of it stems from people being bored as heck and having no imagination. Interested in your take on that one. That's not something I would have come to my own conclusion with. What do you think boredom has to do with it? Because, like, we weren't doing our research because we were bored. We were doing it because we had, you know, big ideas and big lofty goals to help people. And so I just don't understand why... Oops. That needs to be full image. Yeah. And then like that-ish. But you can tell that I'm not used to working on the computer for art yet. Okay, and then I can also... All this work and all that we've done so far is just remove the hula hoop. I think an unpopular opinion of mine is when people use ChatGPT or whatever for astrology, I'd much rather... I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. Hello? Is that an unpopular opinion? I hope not. That's... I feel like a crazy normal opinion? Like a lukewarm opinion? Is that unpopular? I hate that. I hate everything about that idea. Oh, that's awful. Oh my gosh, and we're not even done yet. Oh, okay. I was like, we did it. We did it, chat. We did it. No, I was doing it wrong. This color. Let's just do the whole thing. And then... yeah. Re-block it. And just wink that in there. Interesting. It's not how I thought that would work. Is it this button? Okay, I see. Chat, we did it. We got the we got the hula hoop out. So now let's merge all this together. Because none of it's like stuff I can keep unmerged. Okay, so this is 210. That's wild. I did not know that. I did not know that. So let's see. Let's duplicate this. I'm thinking we can pretty easily do like head, tail. That might be it. That might be all we need to do with this one. So let's say this is 210 tail. No, I would not ever. See, the thing is, I don't like generative AI the way that it's built right now. I don't like it. I will die on the hill that I want to usher in the Star Trek universe. But like, not like this. This is not the Star Trek universe. This is like more or less the Terminator universe at this point. Example, people being unimaginative is when my coworker literally said she'd rather use AI than decorate his room herself. It's more rewarding to do stuff yourself. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant like people using like scientific research for new cursed things instead of the things the original researchers were thinking it was going to be used for. No, just like using ChatGPT is extremely unimaginative, yes. And then this one is just gonna be 210 head. Nope, I think I accidentally, oh, maybe I didn't. And like, I want to be angry at your coworker, I really do, but I'm like, how much of that is being lazy and unimaginative, and how much of that is like being absolutely torn and burnt out from working in corporate America right now? Not that I'm like trying to defend him or anything, but like, I feel like people are choosing AI right now, not necessarily because they're all stupid sheeple, but because they've all have been absolutely burnt out and like don't have the creative energy anymore to do anything because it's all been sucked from them on purpose as part of the conspiracy or whatever. Genie Dreamers, hello, welcome. Discovered from YouTube, thank you. We're doing a weird stream today, talking all about my hyperfixation with robots and how much we wish things were better. Right now I'm thinking about Star Trek universe. Select, deselect. Oops. Okay, now we have tail, we have head. Now we need like just the front of the hula hoop and just the back of the hula hoop, because unfortunately they will need to be like two separate things. So yeah, I did not draw this with Live 2D in mind. Okay. Actually, can I? That might be easier. Hold on. If I do this and I grow it by like 2 or 3 pixels and I select this and this and this and that and this and this, and then I hit select invert, delete. Hey. Yes. I didn't think I could be that smart. Literally the closest we've ever been to 3D printing like Star Trek, and yet we do not live in it. We could if we wanted to. Exactly. If people weren't constantly trying to take advantage of us, constantly trying to make us tired, right? There's so much more free leisure time left, so people want to get such tasks over with and use shortcuts. Exactly. I don't want to say that that's okay to do. Did I miss something when I hit delete? I feel like I did. I did. I was like, that doesn't look right. Oh, wait. We would want... No, I do want spread on 2. And I want this one? Yeah. Now I can hit delete. Okay. So this is hula hoop front, because I'm going to duplicate this. Layer, transform, horizontal. And see if I can't get this to work. You might hear my cat screaming in the background. He is in fact fine. It's just the screaming hour. Okay. Put that underneath. So if this is front, then I'm going to delete this part of it. And for back, we'll delete this part of it and all of whatever this is that's going on. Sometimes I want to be more angry, but I'm renovating my bathroom right now, and I often might catch myself going, God, this would be so much easier with AI. Yeah. And like, it's designed that way. Like, we are in a system where they want you to be reliant on it. A little bit confused about what's going on here. Okay. Why does it look like that? This one. Okay, and then back, I'm just gonna fill this in so it matches the curve for the most part. And then I think, because the rest of it should theoretically be hidden, I'm gonna hope I don't have to worry about that. I don't like it. I don't like that. Did y'all like Chobits when it was a thing people talked about? I really like Chobits. Like I always have, but I think the biggest thing about... Oh, okay. Something's wrong here. This... Oh, did I never... Oh, I never did that part. Okay. So we got head and let's erase head and tail. The most like it's a very realistic take, other than there being a sentient robot. Like literally everything about it is like kind of spot on for what's going on right now, other than one of the robots is actually sentient, which wouldn't happen. The anime, yeah, the anime. Like it really, in my opinion, did a good job talking about the horrors of the art style. Got me when it first came out. Yeah, we love a clamp. We love a clamp piece. Low-key kind of disturbing. I think that was the point, is it was supposed to be, but feel bad for that robot. Yeah, definitely. Okay, and then I think that's a good size. We're gonna oop. So it's not that button, it is this button. Grab this. Let's get rid of the hair. Try and keep some of the lines at least. Okay, and then 210 body. There we go. So I think that that's good for 210. Let's get on to our next one, which is, who's this? Baby boy. Love how it was written by women too. Yeah, Clamp's awesome. So this, I have no idea what we're gonna separate here. Not gonna lie. No idea. Perhaps like not the ruffle, but yes, the head might be the best choice. So this is Latte. Her name is Latte. Canonically? Is that the right word? Canonically, her name is Latte? Copy of Latte. So let's do not the ruffle, but yes, the head. Well, again, oopsies. There's a creator that I really like, who will sometimes just make like an hour-long video of her, I think, I'm gonna say there because I'm not actually sure what their pronouns are, of their robot dogs, and then like put it to lo-fi. And I kind of want to do that, just like as like a chill background music kind of thing. I don't think anybody would want that. Oh, wrong one. This one. Oops. I had the wrong tool and I don't want that. I want it to not do that part. Hello? You should. Okay. I will do that then. I'll try it out. They have one that's like Christmas lo-fi, and like they're playing in front of their Christmas tree, and I love it so much, unironically. It's so cute. Do whatever you want, a girl. Thank you. I just gotta like try and figure out my own spin on it so I'm not just blatantly copying. So how am I gonna do that? Probably, unfortunately, just getting rid of the part that goes underneath. Just saying it's so fluffy, you can't see the part that goes behind. So then this would go down here. Turn that off, turn this on, and we're just gonna go for the head. But yeah, I don't know, every day I get news on my... I wanted to say like the phrase is news on my feed, but I don't get news on my feed because I'm very particular about trying to take care of myself. And so I greatly limit. Can I like edit this after I make it? No, I can't. I just have to get it right the first time, like a math teacher drawing on a chalkboard. Creepy haunted music instead of lo-fi. I don't know, they're not creepy haunted robots though. They're very sweet little guys. Let's say that, maybe. Invert and just delete all this. And just kind of fake it till we make it over here. Okay. I was gonna say something else. I want to keep talking about robots. I feel like I could keep going forever, but I'm like, I'm just gonna bore people. It's like the whole point of stream is to just make me yap. There we go. Okay. So that'll be latte head. And I'm gonna say that that's all we're gonna take apart here. I don't think that there's really anything else unless we went for the ears that we could really make move. Robots can give creepy haunted vibes. Look at Freddy's. Yeah, no, like they do. They absolutely do. Also, completely related. I found myself like explaining FNAF lore to someone the other day, and I was like, oh, sign number 870. Why do I know this, and why do I want to explain it to people? Anyway, did you know that that he made FNAF because someone insulted his art and said it looked like creepy animatronics? And he was like, bet. I'll lean into it then. We love someone who can take constructive criticism. Except he's made some choices that I really disagree with. Yeah, no, I think that's gonna be it for a latte. So let's do macaron. Same thing. I think we're just gonna do head and body for macaron. Let's duplicate this and actually I think I'm realizing now we could make this so much easier on ourselves if we just did this. Look at that. We love to see it. I'm building my own robot right now. I have opinions about that as well because everybody's so afraid of the like newer looking robot dogs, the like spot shaped ones, the very, I guess you would call them like militaristic ones, the Boston Dynamic kind. And I am building one of those. It's not big. It's small, but it is like, I don't want people to be afraid of me. And also like, I'm not a police department. I am not using this for evil, as is wont to be done by police departments. Okay, so we are gonna need, for this one, we are going to need a bottom piece so we'll have the head, and then under that will be just like a swath of red. Like that. I say, as you can't see it. But I was yapping to myself earlier when people weren't here because it's very... Where is my headless macaron? There it is. What was I saying? Oh, university's free here. And there is a robots like division of the school. And so I would really like to... I see what I'm doing. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I was like, what's going on here? It's hard to do this and talk at the same time. I want to try and go into the robotics program, but I would have to be way more comfortable with my Spanish before I can do that. Okay, and then not that, and that works. Okay, and then in the middle, we'll have just the head. So just head. Select, invert. All I was heard is I had to explain play by that I'm not a police department. I mean, those are both true statements. Those are both true statements. No, I had to explain FNAF lore to someone and I was like, why do I know this? And why do I enjoy explaining it? And then I was talking about how there is a robotics division of the local university, but I would need to know more Spanish before I could enroll, because I'm currently in a Spanish-speaking country and I'm not great with my Spanish yet. But I'd really like to. I think it would be really cool. And I'm building one of my own robots, and it's one of the is easier if you do the 80-20 method. What does that mean? I'm extremely interested. Tell me about my Spanish learning becoming easier, please. And then but since I'm building my own robot and it is one of the like kind that is spooky looking, because it's the kind that like the shape, I wouldn't say the kind, it's the shape of the kind that like police departments use. I don't want people to be scared of it, because like those are in fact scary things. And I'm like, I just want to make a little guy. Okay. And that's macaron head. This is macaron body. And this is macaron collar back. And I think that's all that we're going to do for this one as well. And next up is are these guys called 500s or 300s? Oh no, I have forgotten. I don't remember. I think it's the 300s and then the other ones are the 5,000s. So for him, very easy. We can separate balloons and head and maybe ear. I did not draw great balloons for this. Also, I did not expect this part of the process to take this long. I do apologize for that. I expected to be animating way sooner than this. Say balloons 1. We'll say 500. We'll say 300 balloons 1. And then this will be 300 balloons 2. Okay. And this will be body. Nope. Where we're going to get rid of the balloons and we're going to get rid of the whole head. Please tell me more about this 80-20 method. I'm so interested because learning Spanish has been so hard for me. Like, I'm getting way better. Mostly because I've finally found, like, stuff to listen to and watch that doesn't bore me to death. And so I'm getting a lot more practice, like listening practice in, but like, oh boy, speaking is ooh spooky. Or as you would say in Spanish, es spooky. 80-20 is where you watch media, you understand 80% off just based on feeling, and then you start to pick up some Spanish. Harder to understand, but always keep your understanding at 80%. Okay. Just based on visuals. I tried and like it, because I watched, not gonna lie, I watched My Little Pony that way, and I was like, I just want to make it work. It felt like I wasn't learning anything. Maybe I was secretly, like subconsciously learning. Maybe I just wasn't thinking I was learning fast enough, but now I'm at the point where I can find things that I understand at like, yeah, at 80%, but specifically on the level of the words being used, not just the visuals. Like I understand 80% of the words being used. And it has been night and day. And I finally feel like I'm making progress on learning a lot more. Whereas when I was like watching My Little Pony, which was something that I've already watched, something I knew how it went, something I'm familiar with, but like I didn't understand the words. I only understood the plot because I had seen it before. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused. So like I knew what was going on, but I didn't feel like I was learning, if that makes sense. You move on to harder. Yeah. But now that I know enough, and I think that possibly it was that I just straight up didn't know enough fundamentals. And now that I know enough fundamentals, it does work. I wish I knew Spanish. Ugh. Learning a second language is so hard. I cried, like, not gonna lie. When we got here, we signed up for Spanish classes right away, right? Because we didn't want to be those annoying Americans who never learned the language. And every single night after class, I would bawl myself, like, home, because we would walk home from class. And on the walk home, I would just cry and cry and cry and cry and cry because it was so difficult for me. And like, Lynn is literally a like linguistics is their major in college. So they were having a lot of fun learning. And me, on the other hand, who is extreme STEM brain, I say, as I talk to you for 3.5 hours about robots, am not a language brain. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't know where to start. The rules don't make sense. The only second language I've ever learned was math. I can speak math, but the rules of math are like, the grammar in math is not like the grammar in a human language. The rules of math are not like the rules of a spoken language. And I didn't understand why there were so many exceptions to every rule, and how like every single time I tried something I would be wrong in like a new different way, and it just broke me, right? Now that I have like fundamentals, now I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere. I feel like I can actually practice by listening. I feel like I can actually do stuff. I made the serious mistake of thinking that it would feel bad forever. Of that it would be, I didn't realize language learning was like exponential. That the more you knew, the faster you learned. I thought it was just going to be hell forever. And like just as difficult to learn forever. And that apparently is very much not the case. Apparently, the more you know, the easier it is to learn. So I am getting to the point where I put on like Spanish streamers, and like specifically ones that are trying to talk to English speakers to help them learn in Spanish. So they are using slower paces, and they're explaining big words in Spanish to you in Spanish words you probably already know, right? It's really really helpful. Started with Thomas the Train. We love Thomas the Train. Yeah, that was something else, as I realized very quickly that like kid shows, if they're meant for like first graders, it's basically speaking adult Spanish. If it's meant for like tiny children, then I could understand stuff. So I watched a lot of Bluey, and that helped so much. Watching Bluey helped so much because it was actually for kids who were learning the language instead of just using the language, which I didn't realize how fast kids learn. I didn't realize that kids are basically speaking adult languages by first grade if it's their native one, you know? I'll never forget people who shamed the ones who taught themselves using media. Ooh. Yeah, I had that in college. People are always like, oh my god, you used Anime to teach yourself Japanese? Or like, oh my god, you taught yourself English by watching TV shows? That's so cringe. It's like literally how you learn, my guy. I didn't realize that like you have to be taught like a kid by like hearing stuff slow and hearing stuff over and over until it makes sense. There was a word, we were watching a playthrough of Resident Evil 4. What are you buying? And our guy that we were watching kept using the word escopeta. And every single time he used that word, he would pull out the shotgun. And so I was like, it means shotgun. It has to. And Lynn, why is this not doing it correctly? I'm picking this color and it's drawing with a different color. What's going on there? All visible layers. Yes. And I want this one, not that color. That's weird. You're using the correct eyedropper and it's picking, so it's lighter. My hex is working, just kidding. I wish I understood what you meant by that. I'm using the correct eyedropper and it's picking, so it's lighter. I thought the eyedroppers just picked the color you picked. Or is it like picking from like a big, like if I pick from over here, is it gonna be better? Oh, it is. That's weird. I also learned it's harder to learn the languages as you get older. After a certain age, you try learning languages by translation, which means your brain is always buffering. Yes, it's really hard. But yeah, I was like, oh, escopeta must mean shotgun. He says it every single time he pulls out the shotgun. And Lynn, who's a linguistics major, was like, no, it has to mean scope. And I'm like, but he's not using the scope. He's using the shotgun. I was right. Not that I'm trying to brag or anything, but I was right. It means shotgun. So now I know the word for shotgun, a completely useless word for me, a person who doesn't use shotguns. But I figured out a word like the way a child would, and it made me happy. So that was the whole story. That's the end of the story. Thank you for letting me tell it. Welcome to my TED Talk. Terrible, awful, no good. You can tell I did not. Wow. Okay. Now I want that dark color again, and I want it itty bitty, and I want to try and line this. Probably isn't gonna work, but we'll see. Oh, well, sure, actually, that's better than I thought. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. It's not great, but it sounds like you're better at Spanish than you think. Like, yes, but I started from 0 and it's been a year and a third. That's a weird way to quantify time. Shoot. Did I did. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. I have to fix this somehow. I need this one. Okay, because I need that ear. I need that ear by itself. So this will be 300 ear. And we want it to be at the top. So this is 300 head, and this is 300 body, and this will be just the ear. We only want the ear, which means we can grab this, grow 3, let's try it. Yeah. Invert, delete. Done. Okay. What languages do you know? I'm an ignorant American, so I really only know English. I know math. I don't think that counts. It is a language, but it doesn't count. And it's the 100. I know a tiny bit of... I took 2 years of Russian in college. And I had a lot of fun. The thing with that is I'm like... I tell myself all the time, like, I'm not a language person. And then I had a ton of fun when I was learning Russian in college. And it was only until like the last day of year 2, which I say year 2, and really it's, oh, I forgot to copy it. My bad. So this will be 100 body. I say year 2. It was intensive 2. So I made the extremely terrible mistake of thinking that I could take intensive 2, which was all of year 2 in 1 quarter. So I took Russian 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months. And on my very last day when we had finals, my professor was like, what are your hopes and dreams? And I was like, I just want to pass. And she gave me a 2.0 for the whole class. And it really made me feel like I was terrible at language. I just thought I just couldn't learn language. I tried to learn Japanese at one point, and it wasn't fun, so I gave up. I tried Norwegian, and it wasn't fun, so I gave up. And then I moved here, and I needed capital N to learn Spanish. And that's a lot of it was that I did not believe in myself. So I didn't think I could actually do that. Asking because your experience sounds just like when I started to learn English. I bet. It's so, yeah. So, C, Control V. We're going to go for head. I'm going to piece out the head, the ear, and this feathers. So we're going to... Tell me about when you started English. Because, like, I have a friend here who talks about when she was learning English, and it makes it sound like a fairy tale, because she's like, oh yeah, I just put on Minecraft videos, and then one day I looked up and I knew what they were saying. Like, I never really put effort into it. And she's like, she sounds completely fluent. Maybe I can't take the ear. That would be a lot of work, actually. So I'm not gonna take the ear. Just the feathers. Like, it was entirely passive. And I'm like, I don't think that's how 99% of people learn a second language. I really don't. So this will be 100 feathers. So for the head part, let's erase that. Less like for me, I'm definitely going to need to actively be learning and stuff. I can't just passively take stuff in like that. I'm not going to learn correctly. Okay, so tail, feathers, head, body. I think that's enough. Again, really thought that this part would go faster. This is the 5,000. What are we gonna take apart here? We can do the tail and the ribbon, right? We could take maybe this leg could be really cute. This ribbon, the head, and the ear. That's a lot, actually. Heard immersing yourself is good with a show, but something like they speak so fast when it comes to Spanish. Yeah, it's really hard. That's why if you're learning Spanish in particular, I really recommend this guy called, his channel's called, Spanish Boost Gaming. I'll type it in chat. Spanish Boost Gaming has really been helping me because he speaks slowly on purpose. It's entirely in Spanish, but it's for people learning Spanish. And so it's very kind of him to speak very slowly. And if he encounters a big word in a video game, he'll like explain it to you in smaller Spanish words. It's super helpful. So we'll have 5,000 tail, and that's I think where 90% of my learning is coming from. Once I got to the point where I could understand that 80% that Genie Dreamers was talking about on Twitch. And then we'll have 5,000. Let's do like head and bow, and then ear. Let's try it that way. And this will be body. So for this one, we'll be taking off head, the tail. I'll watch all your stuff later. Jeannie, thank you so much. Good night. Have sweet dreams. Cuban American Spanish instructor in college. Learned Spanish from watching Spanish novellas at her grandmother's house. That's so cute. Yeah, that's apparently like the way to do it. I had to get something under my belt first before I could understand enough to be able to like make it feel helpful. Right. Okay, so the body's going to be something like that shape. And we're going to take this color, lock, and it's really that simple. Oh, not opacity, size. Bluey's super helpful because you don't want to like tear your eyes out because it's for tiny babies, but it's also like not terrible to watch. It's actually just good. So that was really helpful. Oh, again, it's doing that thing. That's not. You can tell. I'm not used to working on my computer anymore. That's fine. It's fine. This one, we've decided to keep shadows as like part of stuff. So it would be, let's say, this kind of shape. Good afternoon, Pesto! Hello, hello, hello. It's very good to see you. We've been talking about robots. We've been talking about learning Spanish and Bluey and lots of other things. I have opinions about robots and I wanted to yap about them, so I made this stream. Okay, let's say that's about right. I expected to get to the animation part of this like way sooner, and we're not there, and I apologize to everyone for that. But I think we're getting close now. No promises, unfortunately. Oh, look. That means that I initially thought it would go like this. I mean, that's helpful. And then like this color would come like that. I think so. And this one, the lighter color, come in like that. I wish I had a nail lady to teach me. What's with the Spanish language? Mood. Okay, so there we have, nope, it's not done yet. I was like, we're done with the body. We're not. Lynn's home. Okay, so that's gonna be like that, I think. And then like that. And then the white would come like that. Nope. It would come like this. And it would probably come like that. Okay. That's the body. Okay, and then this is just the tail. We want just just the tail and this bow, and this is gonna be our friend. Not like that though. Spanish is somewhat different there compared to, say, South America, right? Yeah, so I'm learning Rio de Plata Spanish, which is really far South American Spanish. And then when they put on stuff like in class, there's audios that you listen to and like try and listen and get right. They'll put on lots of different accents. The Spanish, like the Spain Spanish accent, is almost incomprehensible. It's it's so hard. Okay, so we have this one's head and bow. Labeling them beforehand was actually really helpful. I learned that second to last. Unless like French is somewhat different than French in Quebec. Yeah, exactly. Miami. Is Miami Spanish like particularly different? Very different, not to mention all the different dialects. It gets interesting. Yeah, I bet. No, that's weird. It like half took this. Learning Spanish now that's more similar to Spanish. No. It's very, very different to Spanish in Spain. The one that I'm currently learning. It's very, very different. So like the words, a lot of the words are very different, but mostly it's the accent is super different. Like I can't understand a lot of Spain audio. I'm going to take this part out as well. I don't know if I did take it out from there, but it won't be noticeable. It's fine. The one Stephanie is learning, I think would be, I don't know which one that would be. I don't know. That's a good, Okay, and then we want to try to get rid of this ear. I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to get rid of this. And this is, say, 5,000 ear off. Just in case I decide I don't like where this direction goes. And then most of it is going to be this color. So I'm just going to do that to make it easy on myself. Lock that. Down here, it's going to be a lot of that color, which is like, it doesn't have to be pretty. It's going to be about that. And so there's head. Perfect. We did it. And this one will take this, we will grow it. I think we liked 3 was pretty good. And we'll select this and that. Select, invert, delete. Delete. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. No, it's right. Okay. I was like, how come it's not doing anything? Deselect. Okay, so 5,000's done. Yay! Last doggy. This is the 220. How are we gonna do this one? Spanish we're learning here is fairly unique. Did we get that solved? Yeah, it's very unique here. How would I? So like head, feather, body. Is that gonna be it? Is that all I'm gonna separate out? It might be all I separate out. It would be neat to separate out the chain, but I just think that that's a bit too much actually. So we'll have 220 feather, we'll have 220 head, and we'll have 220 body, unfortunately. So what was in the late 80s? I feel like I'm not following everything. Oh, you mean, okay, in class, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm understanding now. What is the DELE? I don't think I know that. Language, oh, okay. Ah, okay. My cat sneezed. It was very cute. Head. And then we want just the feather. And then I think we're finally ready to port it into Live 2D. And finally get animating. And I was like, I just want to do something real quick, split them up, something real easy. No, it didn't work out that way. Better. Okay. File, save. Okay. No, not as a PNG. Export. Let's say that then. Nope. Well, yeah, that's fine. Not as a PNG, but as a Photoshop PSD. So then we want, this is Carrousel. Save. Okay. So then, if you're in the void for a second, I apologize. We're going to open up Live 2D. We're making the pups do things. Yes. Are you using a Wacom drawing tablet? No, I'm using my mouse. I'm not used to drawing on my computer anymore. It's been so long. So if you see me struggling, that's why I'm using a mouse. I'm used to drawing on my phone. Almost everything I do is on my phone. Let's get us over to, please, Live 2D? Maybe? Oh, why is it over there? Hello. No, we're here now. So now I can shut down Creta and save my poor little computer. And it was on desktop where I saved this PSD, and I can drag it in. And we can get to animating. Create a... Yeah, we probably want this one. Half scale preview, sure. Oh, that's a huge compliment, Pesto, because I feel like I've been having a time. Okay, everything's off, so let's turn everything back on. And there's a lot happening there, but give it a second. Basically everything here I'm gonna delete because it's not relevant to us. Yes, I would like to delete all of those things. And we're going to start by grouping our things. So this is our 220. Top goes above that if we can. We cannot. Okay. This is all for 5,000. Create. This is all of our 100. Nope. 100. Create. Our... Oh, I've split 300 into a lot of them. 300. Macaron. This is not a 300. I just realized it's definitely not called a 300. This is a latte. The latte and the macarons are 300. I don't remember what that one is. 800? 800 maybe? 210. And the pug. Okay. The bow, the background, pole, top. Wait, is it gonna spin? Yeah. So I've wanted to do this for years since I did all of this art years ago. I've wanted to animate it so that they actually spin around. Can that be turned into a screensaver? I'd have to make it like screensaver, like landscape, right? Like a 1080 by 1920. So I would have to change it a bit, but I could try. I know this top bit, this part, it won't like tile. I can't just make it wider by tiling it. I'd have to figure something else out. But like, I don't see why I couldn't, but for now, I just want to do it this way. Make it screensaver, like turn it on its side sideways. Yeah, I'd have to figure out how to do that, but I could try. For now, I'm just gonna do it this way because I want it just to be like a little GIF. So, and then we have our pole is going to be really important. And what are we setting up here? We are going to set up pole up down, which we're going to grab all of those and go for pole up down, create. Now I just realized that I did a bad thing where I now need to go in, grab all of this and take, nope, I said all of this. This is the part that I always forget to do. So without these bits, just the art bits, all of that, and we want to auto mesh these. I would just make curtains pulling back on either side. Maybe you didn't have to fight so much with the dogs. That could be really helpful, actually. Because I know that the top part won't tile, like I said. But I could figure that out. Oh, we've got some things going on here. We'll deal with that later. Okay, so up at the very top, we have pull up, down. Where did top go? Top is just gone. What happened with the meshing here? Something. Oh, it's not. There we go. No? Exit? Oh, we're chugging. What happened? It's there. It's at the top. Opacity 100. That's weird. If I... Oh, my computer's chugging. Hold on, give me a second here. I gotta wait for it to kind of ease up a second. So that maybe Maybe? Oh no, she's frozen. Oops. We get to sit here for a minute. Hi, how's everybody doing? You got questions? Perhaps about robots? For me? I might have answers. No promises, but I might. Okay. Oh, well. She's almost unfrozen. No, I'm not gonna try and prove you wrong, Merrick. Hi, please. There we go. Thank you for the head pat, Stephanie. Thank you. Waiting so patiently, waiting for program to respond. My computer be chugging. Okay. Ooh, there it is. Oh, that's much larger than I wanted it to be. There's always Minecraft. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by there's always Minecraft? I don't know what that means. What? Hello? Where is my erase? What is going on? Okay, so we're gonna wait for it to unfreeze again. We're gonna save it. If the program doesn't work, we can always switch to Minecraft. I have never played Minecraft, and unfortunately for everyone here, I don't plan on ever playing Minecraft. It's just not something I'm interested in. Wait, what? Oh, there. Oh, we got a circle. A circle has appeared. Can I? I just want my tool to be a reasonable size, please. I was that way before I played it. Understandable. Understandable. What am I interested in? As in, like, what video games am I interested in? I like cozy games, which I know that Minecraft is a cozy game. I don't think I'm interested in sandboxes. I say as I love Animal Crossing. But I like Cult of the Lamb. Again, there's a lot of building there. I should be interested in Minecraft. I'm just not. What am I interested in? Beautiful graphics. Cozy games with beautiful graphics. Lynn points out Spyro. That, yes, I would not call the graphics in Spyro beautiful, but I do love my boy. Where the heck is this layer? I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to put in just like again. Just do it again because I would like it to be a texture. On this one. Add as new art mesh, yes. Can I rename this to top? Thank you. And I would like to delete this. No, I don't want to delete that. There we go. Men Hunt. I have not played Men Hunt. Tell me about Men Hunt. I love Cult of the Lamb. I love Cult. Yes, Pudgy Bean, you understand. Okay. Let's try meshing this again. And it doesn't disappear. Super. Okay, so now we're ready. Pull up down is going to, well, it's supposed to, and it did not. Oh, wait, no, I know it is. Okay, we attach it here. And we will have like 3. No, I think it would be nicer to have 2. Stop it. This one, 2. And we'll have one that is down. I don't know what feels like the furthest down we can go. Actually, is everybody at like the same floor level? Can we do that first? Just put everybody as far down as they can go. Okay, and then we'll have this, and that's bottom, and then this will be top, let's say, is up here. Okay, and now they go up and down. What else does a carousel need? It needs to go side to side. So if we have that, we'll have side to side, okay. And that I'm gonna put here, side to side. Add in 2. This one is gonna be here. And this one here. Now, I need to be able to have them cycle without going backwards. So my Tomodachi Life, I want to try it, but no, I haven't played it. So I think, how am I gonna do that? Unsure. That's something I might figure out later. For now, we'll put them back here. And I will come and folder these guys, because that makes it way easier to hide a whole dog at once. I think these are called 800s, not 300s. Oh, Nope. Pug. Okay. So now it's way easier to hide a whole dog at once and work on one at a time. So we can start with Pug first. Where we have leg, ear, head, collar, and this is body. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. So let's make a folder called Pug. Add, let's say, collar sway. That's not how you spell collar sway, but that's fine. Just real gentle. Ooh. Now his collar be doing that. Let's make head bounce. Where this one's more of a rotation. I just kind of want it to, ear needs to be in there. There we go. Pug ear. Ear bounce. And bye. Go. I would like a little tiny bit of hat bounce if we can't. And leg movement, I guess. Yeah, see how when it rotates, it like changes its size? Never loved the way Live 2D handles that. Now it's a little bit too big. It got too small. That's better. And then over here. I suppose with this one, there's nothing underneath it that's going to cause problems. So instead of that, I can just put in a rotation deformer, which gives me control over the axis, which is great. And I can just do this and not worry about it changing size on me. Okay, so that's Pug. Let's turn on 210. And what do we have? We have the hula hoop. This is going to be a fun one. So hula hoop back, I actually want to live behind the pole. So there's some depth there. We'll have a hula hoop. The tail will be doing things, which actually I think it would be more. I need to fix that. Hold on. That's not going to do it. Because it has to. Nope. Specifically not do that. And not get connected. Auto connect. Much better. So let's make another folder. This one's 210. And it will have a tail wiggle. And see what we can't do with this tail, because I would like it to be on one of these kind of lines. Add that in and see if it just totally and completely breaks or what. So it would be that. These ones, nope. Okay, I can't do that then. It's fine. I mean, I can do this. See? Nope. Can I make this smaller? Or is it just stuck that way? I wonder, can I grab... Squeak my way through there, grab these, and move just them over here. And that's okay, but it kind of looks like it's getting bigger. So let's grab these and kind of then I can just kind of muck with it till it looks a little bit more decent in the weird parts. Let's see, does it look like it's growing? No, not so much. And let's see, can I have it like curl over itself? I'm wondering if it'll let me do that. I don't think so, because it gets really upset about like overlapping stuff. Can I shift add this? Ah, I can. Okay. Take this, and if I do that, yeah, it's not gonna like that. So instead, let's just do that and kind of uncurl this a bit. Is that a possibility? No, that's fine. You can muck with it. Not a big fan. Like I said, I didn't draw this with Live 2D in mind, so that's a good little wiggle, I think. And then we'll have the hula hoop wiggle. Which I think will look really good. Where, again, I think I'm gonna make this a rotation deformer instead of this. Just this. No? There we go. Then a head bob. What's everybody having for dinner? Hula hoop. I think that's it for 210. Still working on it. Haven't quite figured it out yet. Latte is going to be even simpler. Oops. Nope. I want a folder. Ah, that's no good. Doesn't mean it's broken, just means I have to go do that. We'll have latte. And we want a head bob. Where add in head bob, create, add. I want this to be like the fully this way one. And then this will be a little bit different. We'll pull her up like this, but I also want to see if I can't gently turn her face just a little bit. It might be really, really hard to do that. Oh, that looks okay. Let's Control Shift C, Control Shift V. See if we can't twist that optical illusion just a teeny bit more. Not really. So let's just rotate it a bit more. I think that's good. I do want like a ruffle wiggle since we only have those two things. Set up. I want to see if I can't force this into something. So this would be like wiggling this down and over a bit. We don't want it to affect anything but this part, which is the hard part to make that not do that, right? So enough that it works. And then can't. Just do that maybe. That's a big wiggle. That's a big amount of wiggly. That might be all we get. That's okay. There's Latte. Turn her back off. Turn on Macaron. We're again with Macaron, same thing. I think we only have these two. Oh, we have not much more, but some more. I don't want a parameter, I want a folder. Now this one, ahead, I can't make that turn. I can't force a relation or a optical illusion that way. So I can just make her bob up and down a bit. So that'll be fully up. And then down. And then even more down. I did not do that correctly, so let's come here into this. Fix our terrible, terrible, no good mistake by hiding our sins. like that, probably. There we go. And we'll make a body and see if we can't wiggle our collar just a little bit. I probably should have gone in there and done them up, but I didn't want to, so I didn't. That's 800. What do we got here? 2 balloon wiggles, ear, and head. Hold on. Shift E? Okay. There, now it has its line. And we can where I just want to kind of have like the balloons be trailing behind. I think that would make the most sense. Maybe I'm wrong here. Where is it? Oh, the line is there. Okay. So it would be not that. I'll delete that. Better. Okay. So back here, what I would want is to take this, rotate, pull, rotate, pull. But like the balloons are trailing behind like that. And then we can have a balloon bounce where we do like kind of an up and down motion. I think that would be good. We're gonna do the same thing for 2, which has not lost its string. Blondes, nice. Ooh, please don't order yourself that way. Nope, don't order yourself that way either. Just like there, please. Thank you. Add. Nope. This one. Cool. We'll have head and head wiggle. Ah. Well, that's no good. Much better. And finally, an ear wiggle. Here we want just ear. I'm gonna try and make this one a little bit more, because these ones, their ears wiggle like in and out, not side to side. All of them do, but so it would be more like well, I would probably do like the whole thing actually. Hold on. So yeah, and then other direction would be out, and this one's the more interesting direction. That's way too much, but you get the point. Like, entirely too much. I think that's all right. So there's 800, and then we'll have our 100. Let's look at him. What is this going to be? It's going to have tail wiggle, head wiggle, feather wiggle. Where's his feather? Oh, they're just like hidden back there. Okay. That's sad. You're never gonna really be able to see his feathers very well. Honestly, I might take all of these. Wow, okay. Shift scale them down a bit. Since I don't like how invisible they are. I think that's a better size. That shouldn't affect anything that we've already done. We're on 100. We'll have tail wiggle. And this one should be an easier little... Ah. Cutie patootie wiggling his tail. We love to see it. We'll have and we'll have ear wiggle. Oh no, I didn't do ear. Never mind. So these two will go into head. More head wiggle. Oh, did I not delete stuff in body? Aha, I did not. Apparently not. Let's see how messed up this makes it. Not lovely. We'll try it like that. I think it'll be okay. And then feathers. Yeah, I want to have that. See if that works. Not quite. Can I like make it bigger or smaller or something? Let's try that. I think that might work. Yeah, that's way better. That looks cute. That's good. Okay. And then I think, no, second to last one, not the last one. We're at 5,000. Gosh. I was like, what if I don't have enough to do in 3 hours? What if I don't have enough? I think we're good. So we'll have head. Oops, I have 2 of them on. Who's still on? This guy. There we go. Cute tail. Thank you, thank you. So we'll have head wiggle, ear wiggle, tail wiggle, ribbon wiggle, and ribbon 2 wiggle. That's a lot for one little guy, but we'll see what we get. So head. Should just have these guys in it, yep. And again, we'll have an up and down. Here. I do want to like try this one again. It just looks gummy. I don't like it. So we'll just do a normal rotation, I guess. I didn't want this to be a whole big, huge thing, you know? And then tail. Now these guys' tails actually do just rotate, as far as I know. And then ribbon will have the same bit, but we're instead Hopefully that looks better when it's going. I am going to grab this. Just make sure there's not a lot of extra wiggling going on there. And then this ribbon I also want it to, so this will be head. And just a little bit of blanking, not a whole bunch, just a little. Okay. And now actually the last one are 220. After this, it's mostly going to be physics settings, baby. So we'll have a feather, head. He doesn't have a little tail. Just feather and head. Okay. Now this one I do want to try that technique while I had him turn a little bit again. See if we can't make that happen just a little bit. Hmm. Sort of. It doesn't look as good as the other one did. I can't. I think it's because I'm also rotating it that it's just too much, you know? So let's try it again, but just try and make it look like he's turning. So this side would get longer, actually, and this side would get shorter. Yeah, like that. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. Much better. And then on the other way, make this side shorter. And this side longer. Now he looks like he's looking from side to side. So we can also do head up, down. And we'll just do the same. Yeah, we'll make a new work performer. Where this one, we'll just rotate it. And then feather will get one. Well, no, feather needs one of these. And feather. Okay. Let's save. Let's do a wiggle check. And let's pop over to physics, because 98% of this is gonna be physics stuff. We want full down. Oh, okay, so actually, hold on. Before we do that, I need this to be like this. So we have a center. Okay. Physics. Let's bring you with me over to physics. Trumps. Put this here. And one little guy at a time. So we have 210 first. So we'll have a, let's do an up-down group and a side-side group. Or like, I guess we'll say, yeah, side-side group. So for input, I want to add, nope, input, hold on, there we go, add, pull, side, okay, and then on this one, up, down, add, nope, add, pull, up, down. This one, I'm going to probably reset that to breath. So it like auto, no, I want to control it. So you'll see that in a minute. Output. What are, oh, pendulum has not been set. Add, let's add 2. And so what would be an up down thing? Probably collar, ear, yeah, let's say how, hat, tail, hula hoop, head, ruffle, head, collar, balloon bounce, ear, tail, ear, tail, ribbon, ribbon, feather. Okay. All these things. Hi, buddy. So we can only look at one of them at a time, but that's okay. So this will be full up, down. And what do we have? input, we need this to be set to 100. And if we do pull up, down, his little feather wiggles. Now if I go and I change my mind and I hit add and I just add everything, which I don't want to. I do actually want this specifically to be for forward. And we're going to see how that looks. So pull up, down. It's not what we are hoping for. So I'm going to, I wonder, can I control Z? Okay, I can. So now it's just this again. It's a bit much. I'm not a huge fan of how big this reaction is. So I'm going to drag this down here. And I think that's all right. Now, I think what I need to do, and I'm sorry, I think you're in the void. You are. Is come into here and I'm going to make a new unsorted one, which I'm going to name dog. And we want dog to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Edit parameter max 1.4. Mm-hmm. 7, 8. And we want all of these to be on all of these spots. Queen, wrap it up for the night. Okay. Really thought I would get this done in time, but that's okay. We got pretty far along. Let's just kind of do one more thing here where all of these will set to 0. But pug is at 100. What? Oh, they're not visible. Okay. Is everybody on? Nope. 2, 3. Okay. Whereas this one, we want this 0. Zero. This one, we want these ones to all be 0. So now we can cycle through our puppies. So that's a pretty good way to set us up here. Is we have our up down, we have our side side, which I still don't fully trust, and we can cycle through our puppies, and all of our parameters have been made. So now next time we will just be pure animating, just be setting up physics and setting up how to make this work. So thanks everybody for sitting with me. I had a great time today. I've wanted to do this for a really long time, so I'm glad Stream finally let me do something. As I love Stream, I love the way it forces me to work on my art. So I will see you all later. Tomorrow we have tarot. Good night. We'll play again tomorrow. Yes, yes. Bye-bye.